Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll discuss MSc 205 important question. The pattern of structural change in the Indian economy has deviated from development pattern of Western and South Asian economies. Examine further in the light of this statement. Evaluate major policies initiative relating to economic reforms taken by Government of India since 2014-15. The pattern of structural change in Indian economy has deviated from development pattern of Western and South East Asian economies. Those economies experienced first a shift from primary to secondary sector, and only in their advanced stage they experienced a significant shift in favor of tertiary sector. The pattern of development enabled them to transfer growing labor force from primary to secondary sector. Thus, in other words, the economies begin with agriculture and build up a strong agricultural base that laid foundations for rapid growth of industry. This resulted in evolution of sound industrial base that served as a jumping pad for another transition to service sector in these economies. India, on the contrary, has made a jump from primary sector to tertiary sector. In India, the transfer of growing labor force from primary to secondary has not been possible because of the secondary sector has not expanded fast enough to absorb growing labor force. Although the manufacturing sector has grown at a fast pace, the section contribution is less as compared to other countries. The unskilled and uneducated rural masses have contributed to the struggle have continued to struggle in the primary sector, and those who have been forced out by social, economic and political factors have joined the urban slum sector. Moreover, the increase in the share of tertiary sector in GDP in India has occurred at a much lower level of per capita income than the developed countries when they experience a similar expansion. Thus, this pattern of growth underlines the link between the growing poverty and unemployment and the inadequate growth of manufacturing sector and building activity in the country. The failure in turn could have attributed to absence of structural attributes like basic literacy in workforce, upon which further skills can be imparted, physical infrastructure, access to financial capital, and crucially policies that encourage allocation of resources to export-oriented manufacturing. The important phase of structural transformation for the Indian economy was during 2009-10 to 2017-18, in which the share and number of workers in agriculture has been declining, with corresponding rise in employment in non-farm sectors, especially the service sector being the primary driver of employment growth during 2009-10 to 9-10 and 2017-18. Another way to link and look at the structural change in the income is to look at the organizational pattern of the economy. The NAS divides the economy in two sectors: organized and unorganized. Organized, which is identified as modern market economy, and unorganized or traditional economy. The unorganized sector is defined to include all unincorporated enterprises and household industries other than organized ones, and which do not maintain annual accounts and balance sheets. Although during the last few decades organized sector has been growing at a faster pace than unorganized sector, the trend has been facilitated by policies like reduction in excise duty and tariffs, and it indicates growing modernization in organizational pattern of the economy. However, notwithstanding with all these trends and changes towards modernization, the unorganized sector continued to dominate the economy with 2/3 of the national domestic product, and that too not only from agriculture sector. The unorganized sector is found not only in unincorporated and individually owned, but in most other sectors of industrial origin except defense and public administration. Hence, a basic change here could influence the economy considerably. Now, the major policies initiatives taken by Government of India since 2014-15 are as follows. Several initiatives are taken by government to spur growth, include government following the 4R approach of recognition, resolution, recapitalization and reforms to strengthen banks and foster clean and responsible banking, simplification of the labor laws, bringing reforms in corporate affairs, introduction of e-clearances, relaxing foreign direct investment rules, rendering support to NBFCs, that is non-banking finance companies, housing finance companies HFCs, and micro, small and medium enterprises, that is MSMEs, introduction of indirect reforms in form of goods and service tax GST, introduction of insolvency and bankruptcy code IBC for speedy resolution of insolvency and bankruptcy cases for companies, demonetization to curb black money, corruption and counterfeit notes, which in turn opened the gate for cashless economy. Make in India program was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister with the aim to boost India's manufacturing sector. This campaign also aims to transform India as a manufacturing powerhouse by promoting export, encouraging FDI, improving productivity, and lowering the barriers to trade to doing business. That is to improve ease of doing business. Controlling inflation and soaring fiscal deficit. The RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, has mandated to keep inflation within the targeted range of 4% and with a band of 2 percentage points on either side, and is being assisted by a Monetary Policy Committee MPC to determine the bank's policy rate. Discipline was also imposed on gross fiscal deficit. The Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act FRBM Act 2003 got a lease of life since 2016, determines a glide of path for gross fiscal deficit to gross GDP ratio to reach at a target of 3%. The ratio declined from 4.5 in 2013-14 to 3.4 in 2018-19. Beneficiary focus and targeted delivery. The government focused on last mile delivery of basic services to poor on basic safety nets and creating pathways for benefits of growth to reach the bottom line of socio-economic ladder. Linking Aadhaar, targeted delivery of financial services and other subsidies, benefits and Services Act 2016 was one such that opened a major pathway to trickle down effect. The government now has the ability to provide target support by assigning a unique identification number to every individual. Aadhaar coverage stands at around more than 90% of country's population. Another pathway for trickle down effect is the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, a financial inclusion initiative. The linking of mobile numbers with bank account number and subsequently linking with Aadhaar created JAM, जैसे Dhan Aadhaar Mobile Trinity, that further secure direct benefit transfers DBT to intended beneficiaries. Major schemes implemented under the DBT direct benefit transfer includes Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Schemes, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, besides various scholarships and fertilizer subsidy schemes. A key initiative for last mile delivery was the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwal Yojana, was launched in 2016 to provide LPG connection to below poverty line BPL families. In 2016 प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना थी और फिर उसके 2018 में अनदर एफर्ट टू प्रोवाइड बेसिक सेफ्टी नेट थ्रू लॉन्च ऑफ आयुष्मान भारत योजना which provides insurance cover of 5 lakh for cashless treatment to each 100 billion below poverty line families at a nominal premium of 100 per month. Infrastructure. The creation of physical infrastructure has accelerated significantly during 2014 to 19. In April 2018, electricity finally reached every village in India with the effort to every home. Still ongoing, the construction of national highways proceeded at a rapid pace. The UDAN scheme was launched in 2017 to foster regional connectivity by extending flights connectivity to Tier 3 and 4 towns in the country. The Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code (IBC) was introduced in 2016. It consolidated the insolvency resolution process into a single law by amending multiple rules and processes earlier in the operation. The IBC set a time limit for closing insolvency and bankruptcy cases within which assets of the defaulter borrowers are auctioned off to pay the debt owed to the lending institutions. The introduction of framework for exit has improved the overall business culture of the country. The government of India took a bold step to demonetize rupees 500 and 1000 currency with effect from 8 November 2016 midnight. It was a major decision that had an impact on all sectors of the society. Through demonetization exercise, the government has been pressing hard to become a cashless economy and encouraging demonetization exercise. The government has been pressing hard to become a cashless economy and encouraging digital payment system. Now, goods and service tax (GST) was implemented on July 1, 2017. Is regarded as biggest and substantial indirect tax reform since independence. The main aim of GST is to create single unified market which will benefit in the development of country's economy. GST tax only the final consumer, hence the cascading effect of tax, that is tax on tax, is avoided and production costs are cut down. The system is expected to improve tax collection and boost up India's economic development and break all the tax barriers between central and state government. Thank you guys. Do like, share and subscribe my channel, and do comment which next topic you want me to prepare a video for you guys. Do subscribe my channel. Thank you.